you saw my last video, I'm trying to work my way through the Carnegie Medal long list this year. I read the short list last year, but this year I've decided I'm going to try and pick up as many from the long list as I can before the winner is announced. This is the second one, and it's When the Sky Falls by Phil Earle. And it's historical fiction because it's set in the Blitz in 1941. And it is a tremendous read, absolutely. And we focus on Joseph, who is an evacuee. Now, in the Second World War, the children from the cities were sent to the countryside for safety. But Joseph is going the opposite direction. He's being sent from the countryside into London because his gran finds it impossible to cope with him. He's a 12-year-old. He's got behavioural issues. He's got anger issues. He's in trouble everywhere he goes. At school, he's constantly in trouble at school. And his gran has come to the end. She cannot cope with this boy any longer. So she sends him to her friend in London, Mrs. F. Much to Joseph's annoyance, because, he doesn't want to go to London. He doesn't want to stay with his gran. He doesn't want to go to London. He is just so angry. He doesn't know what he wants to do. And he gets to London. He gets to Mrs. F. And she is a woman who takes no nonsense, who takes no prisoners. And whatever Joe throws at her, she throws right back. She's not standing for any of his nonsense at all. She runs a zoo, and it's the zoo that's been in the family, and she's the last member of the family. And because during the war a lot of the animals were relocated to zoos in the country where they were safer, all she's got left in this zoo now are a couple of camels, a couple of wolves, and Adonis, a silverback gorilla. And it's Joseph's job to clean up, to help around the zoo, and to scrounge food for the animals, because feeding the animals wasn't a priority during the wartime. So one of his jobs was to barter in the local area with the greengrocers. Have you got any old carrots or anything that you can't sell? Let me take them to the animals. A job he hated doing, as well as he hated shoveling dung and taking the dung to the allotments to help grow the vegetables. So you've got Mrs. F, you've got Joseph, and you've also got Sid, who's a young girl who helps at the zoo. She helps Mrs. F. School life for Joe, exactly as every other school he's been to. Bullied, teachers hate him, he kicks off, he causes trouble. He hates it, absolutely hates it. He hates everything about his life. And it's a story about building trust. As Joe learns to finally trust people. He hates the animals. He hates this gorilla. But gradually there's a bond forms between him and the gorilla. He's got the bond there that he hasn't got with a person. And it's a story of breaking down the barriers to be able to trust. It's, as I said, it's set in the Blitz, and the writing and the descriptions of the Blitz are first class because it's totally realistic, and it portrays what life was like for the Londoners when buildings were collapsing and people were dying. And the ending is absolutely heartbreaking, and I would encourage you to read the afterword by the author, because it explains where he got the idea for the story from. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, what this idea was, this spark, because if I tell you that, it's going to spoil the book for you, and I'd hate to spoil the book because the ending is just so powerful and heartbreaking. But if you read the afterword, And if you read the afterword first, it will tell you. So don't read the afterword, read it afterwards. So yes, an absolutely super read. I'd say it's for 8s, 9s upwards. So When the Sky Falls by Phil Earle. Terrific. So take care, happy reading, and bye.